Luciferian. The people up here are getting away with it. They're getting away with murder. You're putting it all together. You're putting all the bits and pieces together. What does the Bohemian Grove, what does this whole satanic thing have to do with understanding what these guys are doing? This looks so nice, like they're trying to save the planet.
They meet here secretly. They're depopulating our world. This is what this group is doing up here. They meet and they come up with stories and come up with ways in which to enslave the citizenry because they are the king. And
you go back a little bit inside and there's a 40-foot owl. You've seen Alex Jones.
Yes, I've seen that.
Having the guts to come in here and you hear the screams.
Yes.
Of the children.
I've seen them carry a childlike object to the owl.
For the sacrifice.
That's what I understand.
And it's a cremation of care.
That's what I hear. They are wondering about how they can get all the children in the United States vaccinated. So they've come up with a whooping cough epidemic, and all the children over 14 years old are being told it's state law here in California that they are vaccinated before they start school in the fall. No shot, no school. That is a lie. That is an absolute lie. State law provides for opt-out. And the parents need to know they can opt out, and they must opt out. The scheme behind these shots and these vaccines is coming out of these evildoers that drive up this road in their cars, feeling that because their wealth gives them privilege over all of us. And that's where they've crossed the line, finally. They've crossed the line.
Deborah, when they worship Lucifer, the Lord Lucifer, you go to the President of the United States, his mentor, Saul Alinsky. You know him, his mentor is Lucifer, the Lord Lucifer. I mean, they take a look at him as the idol. When they worship the god of Moloch and sacrifice children, they are then conducting the business of our government. This is the place where they developed the Manhattan Project.
This is our government. Right
this
here.
Is our government, right.
This is our government.
Underneath the trees, and they run around nude in the,
Yes.
And sometimes doing the boys, sometimes doing the girls.
This is our government. That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Tell them that.
I hear horrible things coming out of this foul place. I hear the schemes. I hear about what they do. It's akin to the Bilderberg group, and they're being found out. They've had us in the proverbial hot pot too long. They've turned it up too high. We are getting sick of the overhead death dumps. We're getting sick with the wrapping around our homes with the EMF and RF, the radiation that is emitting from these smart meters, the taking away of our freedoms, over our thresholds with these smart meters being attached to our homes. We will no longer live our lives in our homes as we did before. Well,
this is Bilderberg West.
It's designed.
It's Bilderberg West. That's really what it is.
Basically.
I mean, it's these are Luciferians. You think, oh, no, they don't have a religion. No, they have a religion. And this religion is running this government. Gary's with me. He was up here once before.
Yeah. Well, Deborah's dead right. We just had the meeting of the Bilderbergers in Switzerland this weekend. I noticed in your newspaper here locally called the Press Democrat is owned lock, stock, and barrel by the New York Times. The New York Times was involved immediately when Operation Monarch occurred. They are part of the intelligence network. Also, Henry Kissinger is one of the guests at this place. Henry Kissinger was at the Bilderberger meeting at St. Moritz this weekend. So you're absolutely dead right. You're on firm ground, and what you say is correct. And the other thing about the death, they inculcate themselves with evil and death. The Skull and Bones is known as the Brotherhood of Death before the turn of the 1900s. There was a break-in to their tomb during that time by Dr. Anthony Sutton got the papers, and the people on the campus that were able to spot and do these exposés called them specifically the Brotherhood of Death with reason. And, of course, members of the Brotherhood of Death, they ran the wars. Henry Stimson, World War I, Secretary of War. He was also Secretary of War for World War II. Brotherhood of Death, Skull and Bones. When we went to war against Spain, the Spanish-American War, it was run by William Howard Taft, was the first governor of Cuba, the first governor of the Philippines. It was an inside job. The battleship Maine was in the Spanish harbor in Cuba, and there was an explosion. And of course the newspapers back home, like today, like the New York Times, lied about it in order to create a war of imperialism. And again, it's not our government or our papers. This is an international community. They have no loyalty to you or me. And our Board of Supervisors, their policies do not come from the local. They have a contract with the World Bank, which is called ICLEI. Their policies are coming from the world government and the World Bank.
Yes.
But you're right. But these people really are satanic. There are people out there that don't believe in God. These people believe in the devil and draw its power by their own statements, their own rituals, with their cremation of care to get rid of their conscience so that they can kill. And we see the layers of death being crisscrossed. A 5-year-old kid can point up and see the tic-tac-toe in the sky. Everybody's analyzed it. When their sprayers go bad, they spin out cotton candy or toxic candy, and that's been analyzed. It's the same elements that was reported in USA Today on May 12th, 2011. Each one of those heavy metals is causing illness, Alzheimer's, neurological disease, and all kinds of havoc. It is a coup d'etat, and there's a stage right now where they're doing the actual execution.
Gary, let's bring Deborah right up to the center of the road here, if you can.
Well, I know that they are causing, all the stuff that they're dumping on us is causing itchy eyes, red eyes, irritation, itchy skin, heart palpitations. I know that it's also causing headaches. I know that there's a concern about brain inflammation. It says so in the military document that was released from the Freedom of Information Act. 2006, this document was released. It talks about the intentionality to cause harm with the technology around microwaves, EMF, and RF technology.
And as these people are dying, they're stealing everything. The tarps, they're taxing the people. They're laying everything on them. They're stealing their pensions. They're stealing everything they have. From the San Francisco Bay to the Mexican border, the international community has been buying out the fishing frigates. They've been buying out the fishing permits, and there are people committing suicide, like we had in India years ago when they brought in the killer grains, the one-term grain, where the people were committing mass suicide because they could not feed themselves or their family. It's happening here. It's happening now. They're setting up Soviets in every city and county under the guise of Agenda 21 and these ICLEI contracts with the World Bank that's funded by the European Union and these other people that steal from us, take our money to exterminate us. This is extermination going on.
Yes, Deborah, come here for a minute. I want you to tell us private. That's just you for a minute. No,
Okay.
Truthfully, just between you and I, there's nobody else around, except there's the owl up there.
Yes.
And
the cameras.
And the agents and the cameras.
The cameras,
yeah.
the security.
Right. What are you telling? What are you going to tell them? Just take a look at them. I mean, we're here. We're
what I'm
representing
going to tell you is to wake up. Look up into the toxic skies. See with your eyes. Let your brains tell you. You know those aren't clouds. Go to toxicsky.org. Take a look at the photographs. Go to aircrap.org and take a look at that site as well. They are overhead spraying toxins on us every day in secret, hiding in plain sight. What else I would tell you to do is absolutely refuse the smart meters on your homes. Do not allow smart meters on your homes. Download the Freedom of Information Act military document from refusesmartmeter.com. It's an 18-page document. Read it. Take it to your city council meetings. Take it to your county board of supervisors. Tell them this is intended to cause harm. There's no more the need for people who get so desperately sick to go and get a doctor's letter from their doctor and go to the county board crying because they are so miserable. The military documents say they will get sick. I understand that the aerial spraying is Operation Cloverleaf, one of probably many secret operations that's flying overhead, in secret. But folks, what you are seeing are not ice crystals from passenger jets. This is toxic dumps overhead daily. This is all over our country. This is not just in Northern California. This is not just in California. This is all over the United States. And this is all over the world. Wake up. Look up. You are getting sick while there is still time for you to muster up enough strength to do something about it. Stop this before you get sicker. Get off your couches. Stop reading the mainstream media newspapers, watching the mainstream media TV programs. Get yourself out there. This is your job. This is your time. You are born into this moment for a purpose. Get up and do something.
People talk about the toxic toilets. It's like going up above and flushing the toilet down, and the people are walking around there, they're looking up, they don't quite understand it. How about they're up there and they're going, and they're breathing it in. It brings respiratory disease, fibromyalgia. And if you're young and pregnant and you're about to have a baby, you might have a deformed baby. A monster. No, I mean, one with an arm, growing out of the side, or something over, something like you'd see from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And people say, well, no, they're just people. They're just deformed people. But these people are made deformed.
There is an avalanche of autism. We have never had so many autistic children born onto the spectrum that we have had in the recent years. I believe it's now down to 1 in 58 births are born on the autistic spectrum. Folks, this is going to absolutely cut us below the knees as a nation, taking care of so many children that are sick and keeping so many families distracted from getting out here and stopping what is creating this disability within their homes. You've got to stop this. Stop lining up and getting the vaccinations. Don't get the flu shots. Do not eat the GMO foods. Do not utilize the cancer-causing, mercury-laden CFL light bulbs. Do not allow smart meters on your home. And for gosh sakes, spread the information on the toxic air dumps. Stand on the corners with your cameras looking up. Get other people looking up. If they don't believe you, just look for yourself. Know for yourself. Don't allow someone else's ignorance to dissuade you from what you see with your own eyes. When your eyes burn and you itch and you have to go take a shower, as we've been advised to do when you've been exposed, hello, exposed? You take a shower? What does that do to your whole insides? Not a darn thing. We are getting sicker by the minute. More and more people will start to die. It will be an invisible execution. This is murder. And these folks here that meet and conjure up these death plans come every year to the Bohemian Grove. This is a place of evil. Evil.